spoilers for this movie, the previous movie, and hopefully no other movie in this series because it's trash. Hello, welcome to Just My Thoughts. I'm your host, Khaleel Ward. On this episode, I'll be talking about Rebel Moon, Part 2, The Scargiver. It picks up where Part 1 left off. The rebels, Cora and the gang, they come back to the farm, and we spend the majority of the time on the farm. The whole movie takes place on the farm. We do see Space Hitler, Admiral Noble, I think that's his name. Yeah, he gets brought back to life. So we spend time on his ship and then the farm. And those are the two locations we spend time on. Anyway, the rebels come back. They're like, yeah, we killed them. We're good. They're not going to come get us. And then, if you don't recall from part 1, when the bad guys came to the farm, they took over, but then Cora killed most of them and they left like one alive he didn't want to be a bad guy anymore. So he's still reporting to the bad guys. And he's like, yeah, everything is good. All the people are doing their work. And he's lying. And they're like, yeah, we're going to come there in 5 days. So make sure all the grains and everything is ready. So he goes and tells Cora, they're coming in 5 days. And they're like, okay. And then we just get a whole slow motion montage, 30 minutes worth of them fixing the farm, ready for battle. Have you ever seen The Magnificent Seven with Denzel Washington and Chris Pratt? When, the final battle, when they're in town and everybody is like, yeah, we want to fight. And then they start setting things up and they helping people shoot and everything. That's what this movie is. But for like an hour, that's what you get. Just them, hey, you can shoot. Hey, you can use a knife. And they just building stuff up. And then occasionally we go up to it's called the Dreadnaught. We go up there and we see Space Hitler being upset. Then we get a Cora flashback and she tells us like why she became a criminal and how she became a criminal. Basically, her adoptive dad was like, I need you to kill the princess who you're guarding. And she does it. And then he turns on her. Like, look, she assassinated the princess and everybody was there. It was weird. So that's how she ended up on this farmland. Anyway, the rebels that she rescued that was supposed to be really big in this battle, they don't say anything until like 40 minutes into the movie. So 40 minutes in, they finally sit around after doing all their farm work and every character kind of explains their backstory and like why they're there. So we see a quick flashback of each of these characters. Like, yeah, this was happening. And then the flashbacks, it looked like it was some cool stuff. One of them did a flashback and it was like some dragons fighting a ship. I was like, where's that story? Because things look like it's happening there. Everybody tells their story. Cora doesn't tell her story to all the people she's supposed to be fighting with. She only told it to the guy she's sleeping with, the farm guy or whatever. So after an hour of farming, the people from the Dreadnaught finally arrive to the farm. And here comes Space Hitler. Same thing like he did in part 1, comes down. And they have like a fake chat. He's like, surrender. She's like, no. But maybe if I do, then you won't hurt the people. But then the farm guy's like, no. And then he hits the bell to signal we go into war. And then for an hour, because there's still an hour left in this movie after the farming. So for an hour, we have this battle where people are coming out the ground and blowing stuff up and they're shooting each other. And it's in the trailer where like Space Hitler jumps down into like a bunker and is killing people. That's where you see that. There's no other action that happens in the first hour of this movie. It's a lot of talking and farming. Anyway, so then the battle ensues and, people are fighting and people get killed. Some of the rebels get killed as well. And then some of the women and children, they get killed, whatever. It's not important. And then Space Hitler is like, all right, I'm out. And then Cora's like, we're going to go follow him and we're going to go on the ship and blow up the ship or whatever. And that's like the movie. And again, we see it in the trailer where she has like the sword, fake lightsaber thing. The movie sucks. It's really, nothing is going on. Like there's no exploration. Like they were saying this this movie was going to be. It was going to be all this exploration and discovery and all. Nope, they don't go anywhere. They on the farm. That's it. They on the farm, farming, and we get, we get a lot of slow motion. Like I didn't even mention it in the beginning, but slow motion. I'm talking about on the grains. Them walking, looking at each other. It's so much slow motion for no reason. Like he was like, last time it was a lot of shooting in slow motion, like guns and stuff. Nah, this time we're gonna farm in slow motion because that's what the people want. He's talking about making more of these movies. Please God, no. We don't need more. We don't need a director's cut because there's nothing that was cut that's gonna make this exciting. Nothing. I said it in the first one. Not like they just go and pick people off from different planets and that's them exploring or whatever. This time around, they're literally just farming for the majority of the movie. They're farming and then it's like, okay, battle, things blow up, people get killed. Once they think they won, of course, another robot comes out or something, and then some robot that she knew comes out and helps them out or whatever, and you're supposed to like cheer. He does like a superhero landing. It's a lot of slow motion and nothing going on in terms of story, characters. You don't care when people die because it's not important, because they probably didn't have any lines in this movie. And it's one of the worst Netflix movies I've watched. And I watched a lot of bad Netflix movies, like a lot. But Rebel Moon Part 2, the Scargiver, and when they mentioned the name, the Scargiver, and he legit has a scar, I hate this movie. But those are just my thoughts on this particular movie. If you watched it, why? Let me know what you thought about it. Oh, if you watch part 1, watch part 2. If you watch part 1, watch part 2 to see how this particular story ends. But let me know what you thought about it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Deuces.